Hey. Hey, 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 hey. What is up? What is up? What is up? Oh man. Only thing I can do is look at the clown ass camera. What is up? This is your boy Warren G. This is the No I Don't Know podcast. I don't know shit. I don't never claim to know anything. Oh man. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. Oh man, the reason why I can't stop laughing, man. You already know I'm gonna talk about the corporate plantation. God damn. Every time I think about that shit, I be stuttering and shit. The corporate plantation, man, is a motherfucker. How was everybody's weekend? Hey, I already know how it is. Monday and Tuesday is a drag. You know, I'll be looking forward to Wednesdays and shit. To check out things. Hey, man, I've been kind of watching little different podcasts and watching things. And just not just watching, things on YouTube and, reading articles on the news and stuff like that. I'm going to get right into it. Appreciate you if you listening on SoundCloud. Whenever you watch this shit, I hope I fuck up your day like my shit is fucked up. Because my shit stay fucked up every time I think about going to the corporate plantation. I get to itching and shit and breaking out in hives and my goddamn allergies get to tripping and shit. I don't even got allergies, but every time I think of the corporate plantation, I'm like, oh shit, the corporate plantation got me fucked up. But anyway, man, I'm about to get into it. Man, I named this one tonight, Don't Believe the Hype. The reason why I say don't believe the hype now, I'm going to just give you my partake on it. I done listened to Cory Booker. I done listened to Elizabeth Warren. I done listened to clown-ass Kamala Harris. I feel like they all they run the same shit to me. Just those three people. I heard one politician, I forgot her name. I think her name is Marianne. I heard her on Tone Talks with Yvette Carnell. She was spitting fire. That's a fact. She was on there like, she was a white lady and she was just basically like, black people deserve reparations. If we done gave reparations to the Jews and to the Koreans and everybody else, whoever else got reparations, then why don't black people get it? And she was like, she did kind of come out and say, first my number was 500 billion. And then she was like, well, nobody's going to take me serious. So let's go. She dropped all the way down to 100 billion. I'm not going to get into the details, but that's the first person that I actually heard talk about an actual plan of reparations for black people. Now, the reason why you hear me talking about this shit is because we always fighting everybody else's motherfucking battles, but when it comes to our shit, man, it be crickets like a motherfucker. Every time you ask a motherfucker, like we go hard. Look, we go hard on each other, but sometimes there's a time to go hard and there's a time to fall back. I think it's time to go hard on these politicians if they don't have some type of a plan. Now, the reason why I say don't believe the hype, I'm gonna say it again for all y'all that can't wait to vote, because they're framing this picture like Donald Trump is just so evil. We gotta get him out of there. And it's like, come on, y'all, man. We gotta wake up and stop being so goddamn stupid. And stop believing clown-ass motherfuckers like Angela Rye roams out and makes a statement on behalf of the corporation to all the little lower class staff. You know, the little worker bees like we are, like I am, like everybody else, even y'all niggas with degrees. Those people are placed in front of you to do the gully dirty work. You know what I'm saying? So they were what Mike Epps calls a gatekeeper. Roland Martin, Angela Rye, all of them. First of all, Angela Rye is a fucking attorney for their system. Do you understand what I'm saying? Most of the time, you're not finna hear attorneys that are placed on CNN and Fox and all that. They're not gonna talk about reparations for no black people. They always, this is what irritates me the most. People are always talking about when it's a black person and you ask them a question, hey, well, what about the black agenda? What about reparation for black people? Oh, well, it's not just for black people. It's gonna benefit all people. Man, that's why they're a politician. That's why I always say, don't believe the hype. Watch, listen, and learn. Watch these people, man. Watch how they move. Watch how they talk. Everything. And the reason why I'm saying this is because these are the type of people that are making the decisions for you. And I always say this, and I don't care what nobody say. Go get you an etymology dictionary. The Oxford Dictionary of Etymology, of English etymology. Go get you that dictionary. The reason why I'm telling you go get this dictionary, because it gives you the origins of the words. And the reason why you want to look up the origins of the words, because it shows how the word was created. Like image. Image is a representation of like a counterfeit representation of an object or some shit. Basically like some fraudulent shit. It's just the image of something. Pharmacy means poisoner, basically. Religion means to bind. Let's see. What else? What else I look up in there? I looked up imaginary. I looked up money. Money is way different from currency. It's a bunch of words in there that'll really give you the hardcore definition. But one that I looked up in here and you can look up is vote. Vote means to wish. I got the dictionary, the etymology. I looked the shit up. That's basically what it means. Casting your vote means casting to wish. So, with that being said, you're wishing that somebody's gonna make the best decisions for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are. And the reason why I say that shit is because it is. There's a reason why there's electoral college. And there's a reason why it's just a popular vote. If voting really meant something, it wouldn't be vote. That's a fact. I'm just telling you what I know, what I've read, things that I've read, books that I've read. I can't think of them. They on my shelf. I don't have a whole lot of books, but I've read enough to be like, ooh, shit. It'll fuck you up. And not just that. Haven't y'all ever wanted, come on, my people. I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to black people. Come on, black people. Haven't y'all ever wondered, they give us the option for us to choose? And then we always make the excuse of, oh, well, this is the lesser of the two evils. And then you hear these black people talking about, well, your ancestors died to vote. No, your ancestors died because they wanted equality. They wanted what was rightfully ours. They didn't die so you can go stand in the line and vote for the lesser of the two evils that they have given you the choice for. Why is it never no independent? The independent person runs for a little bit and then they just fade to the fucking black. But it's always, you either got to be a stone cold Republican or a stone cold Democrat. And what's so funny to my people, neither one of them give a fuck about y'all. At least Donald Trump is telling you how he really feel and how Caucasians really feel about black people. See, that's what you want. You don't want no motherfucker running and hiding and throwing a rock and hiding and acting like it's for all people. Like Elizabeth Warren and all these other clown motherfuckers. Hell, Hillary Clinton was smiling with y'all, smiling with Charlemagne and God and all them motherfuckers, and this bitch was the one who was the architect behind the crime bill and was calling niggas super predators. And then they flipped it and was like, oh, well, black people wanted those bills. Clown. No, we didn't. And that's some clown shit. And then what I really don't like is it's always these people that attack certain people that are prominent members of our society. Like, they'll have people like, I watched the Angela Rye's, the Roland Martins and all them. They'll go after certain people who they knows that the system is flawed and it's fraudulent. And it is. If you're speaking on behalf of the system, that's because you're benefiting from it. And that's a fact. I don't care what nobody say. You can act like you ain't benefiting from it. You don't care. Hey, people don't got to listen to what I'm saying. But when you go do your income tax, see how much income tax you got. Since we want to be smiling like they don't give a fuck about you. And neither do the fucking Democrats. Even if the Democrats, even if the Democrats pretend like they care about black people, they don't give a flying fuck about no niggas. Why y'all think that? Man, I'll be laughing my ass off. Man, shout out to the chat room. What's up, Shawnee Brown, man? Hey, I was a little late, but it's all good. I was working on some music and some shit like that, but you feel me? Hey, man, we got to stop falling for the okie doke. I be watching. Like, I was listening to Kamala Harris. She's a very deceptive human being. Very deceptive. You know, you ask her something, oh, it's going to benefit all people in the communities. No, you need to go on record and say, look, yes, I want to be the president for all people, but the first thing on my agenda is I want to help black people as we've been Jim Crowed, segregated, redlined, slavery. All those things that add up have put us behind the line 500 years. So, of course, I do want to help my people. Find me the candidate that says that, and they got my fucking clown ass vote. But until then, I don't give a flying fuck about that shit. And I'm tired of watching people. I'm tired of watching people. Man, look, I'm going to say it again. Cory Booker was asked the same question. I'm sorry. And this dude was like, well, I went to a school that was homophobic. And they didn't ask you about gay people, the LGBTQ LMNOP? Clown. They asked you about black people. Why is it every time? Look, because how many times have I told you? And that's right. Manipulation at its finest. That's a fact. Shout out to the chat room. I always be getting this inspiration from them. Look, let me tell you something. Why is it every time it's time for us to talk about us, we get the ooh and ahhing and ooh, but the Lord said and Jesus said that bullshit, and we want to pray and everybody. I'm a Martin Luther King fan and that shit. Well, then you must ain't really study Martin Luther King. And for all y'all that don't know, Martin Luther King was secretly meeting with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that's another thing that I'm fucking tired of too, man. I was watching this YouTube video with Young Pharaoh or whoever and Brother Reza Islam. Hey, shouts out to Brother Reza Islam. That dude is well educated, well spoken, know his shit, and represents the nation great. And it makes me proud to watch a brother that's that young, that represents the Nation of Islam in such a way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it seems like that dude was, I don't really know this dude, and I don't like getting into nobody's beat, but it seems like that dude was like a provocateur. Because why are you bringing up some shit that Malcolm X said about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Even if Malcolm X did say that, y'all have heard me say this on record, and I don't give a fuck. That's the problem with us. We are quick to go at each other in public in front of Caucasians' eyes because we feel like we gonna get a pat on the back. Now, Malcolm X was dirty red before he met the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's one. Two, he was educated by the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's two. Three, Malcolm X was warned a lot of times by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad about how to move within the system, what to say, what not to say. You got to be so to speak. You don't want to start wars. You got to watch what you say. because it's a reflection on the nation. Malcolm didn't like that. From watching, because look, if you're a part of an organization, right? Let's just say this. If you're a part of an organization and there's some things within the organization you may not agree with, that's fine. But it ain't your job to go out and start talking shit about the organization because you didn't get what you wanted. No diss to Brother Malcolm or nothing like that. But, man, look, I done read several books. How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I want to hear that shit, man. And I'm tired of people going up and digging up shit on him. Oh, well, he fathered all these children and all the other shit. Man, so? Well, I still got love for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I'm tired of motherfuckers doing that shit, man. That should be irritating me. And it's always our people that go against us. And niggas don't know, Malcolm X was killed by the FBI. He was killed by informants. That had nothing to do with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And if I was Farrakhan, I'd be pissed off too. Why would you go on TV and do all that shit and say that? Just leave. Look, I'm just using myself as an example. I've been in situations where I really didn't like the situation. Really, really, really. You know what I did? I'd make a fuss and start talking a bunch of shit and, hey, this month. No, you know what I did? I just left. Because when you leave, it'll show itself. But when you start running your mouth and talking a whole bunch of shit because you didn't get your way, what do you think? And that's the thing. While we sitting up here trying to pull back the layers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and all that, let's turn that focus and attention on these black politicians that's supposed to be representing us to get us resources. Because if you read Black Labor, White Wealth, if you read Powernomics, if you read Think Like a Millionaire, if you read The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks, if you read these books and really sit down and read them, if you read Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's The ISIS Papers, if you read these books, I'm telling y'all, turn the focus on the people that's supposed to be representing you to get reparations or get resources for us. While we up here going at the nation, while we up here going at the Hebrew Israelites, while we going at the 5%ers and the nations of God and earth and the Moorish Science Temple, why we going at them? No, let's go at the motherfuckers that are pretending like they're going to represent us so we can get more resources. That's what we need to turn our focus on. Why motherfuckers ain't sitting people down like Kamala Harris and being like, okay, so you Jamaican and Indian. What does that have to do with ADOS? I'm waiting to see who's going to ask her that. No, because you got clowns like Roland Martin and Angela Rye and all these other motherfuckers going on the news medias and propagating this shit like, oh, well, those are Russian bots. No, it's not. ADOS is American descendants of slaves, not African descendants of slaves. American descendants of slaves. Come on, man. Like, come on, we got to wake up. Turn our focus on what matters most. Let me read from the chat room. Most of them politicians make statements that are the outer representative. Once they get into office, the real them comes out. That's a fact. That's a fact. Y'all motherfuckers better go watch the House of Cards. That's a fact. That's why I was irritated when I was watching that shit. And I give Brother Reza Islam props because he was handling himself. He kept his composure because I don't see how he was able to go back and forth with that dude. That dude was cussing and just being so disrespectful. He's acting like a coon, like a fucking Sambo. See, we got to start calling. Look, I'm the first to admit it. I had to go to Coon and Sambo's Anonymous. I had to go to Coon Rehab and go to Sambo's Anonymous and purge myself of that Sambo spirit. Because a lot of these people are drinking Sambo smoothies and they're popping Coon vitamins every day. You know, and they wearing Steven from Django patches. You know, instead of the smoke patch so you can stop smoking, they wearing the Steven from Django patch because that spirit is still in them, so that makes them want to go tell on motherfuckers and throw each other under the bus and find shit and be a provocateur for things that don't matter. No, right now you need to be. The first thing I would ask Kamala Harris is, so you Jamaican, like I said, and you Indian, so are you going to be fighting the immigration war or are you going to be helping out black people? Because the majority of the time, y'all use us as a stepping stone and then y'all help everybody else but us, like Obama did with the LGBTQ element OP, with the Jewish community, of course, and with the Latino community. But when it came to the black people, benign neglect was a motherfucker. Y'all need to know what benign neglect is. Let me read something from the chat again, because they think they are going to get a coon biscuit for doing that. That's a fact. House of Cards is how they really are in politics. Thank you. Shout out to the chat room, Johnny Brown. Hey, I'm telling you, look, that's the only reason why I started watching it. I was hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it. I'm talking about the House of Cards, which was on Netflix, and hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it and hyping it up. And then one day I just sat down and I said, you know what? I'm going to watch this House of Cards, because I know Kevin Spacey's a pretty good actor. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch it, because he was good in 7. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to fuck with him. I sat down and watched the first season, and I was like, God damn, this motherfucker's crazy. And then when I watched the second season, then I said, oh, this shit is exactly what the fuck be going on. And I watched the third season, and I watched the fourth season. Oh, man. And once I got to the third, I think the fourth season, I was hooked. I was like, oh, this is exactly what's going on in politics. That's why y'all always hear me say corporate America, the NBA, the NFL, politics, and Hollywood. The Fab Five, Hollywood. This all the same paradigm. It's all ran the same way. It's all ran the same way. You can't speak how you feel. What trips me out about this system is we have black people that so-called want to represent us, but when you start asking them questions about what is pertaining to us and what is owed to us, they start talking about the Indians and everybody else. All right, let's get on the Indians. Y'all better go read Black History Reader, Black Labor by Wealth, Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Read Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask. Go read that book, and then we can go talk about the Native Americans. The so-called Native Americans, they was the main ones catching us and taking us back to the Caucasians. Shit, they didn't want slavery to end. Shit, I'ma just say this. Haven't y'all noticed that the Indians, they got reservations, casinos, reparations, they got all this shit, but they never speak up on black resources for what is owed to us. They never divide that pie with us. They got their casinos and their reservations and all that shit. And then when you start asking for the money, oh, we don't got no money. But I remember they had those Indians on the Breakfast Club when the pipeline shit was going down. Then they wanted everybody to fucking stand with them. But where the fuck is our money that is owed from us? That's owed to us from y'all, from these casinos and all this shit that y'all benefiting from. I don't like that shit, man. And what irritates me too is that if you ask that question, a motherfucker look at you like you crazy. They'll really look at you like you nuts. And I'm like, man, this is some bullshit, man. For real. For real. Let me tell you something. If you want to go out there and run for office and do all that, go ahead, because you want the benefits and the perks. You'll be better off helping your community, just being a community organizer and getting a few people together to have, like a book study where you talk about things. You'll do more for your people doing that than trying to be a fucking whack, fake-ass politician. Because the majority of these motherfuckers be lying. And they don't plan on doing a motherfucking thing for you. Once they get in office, crickets. I live in Las Vegas. I ain't seen a politician since the last little fucking election. I ain't seen nobody. You care about the people, you making it your point to go door to door shaking everybody's hand and trying to put everything on your agenda. But why do we expect other races to have black people's first interests at thought? No, they're not thinking about our interests. They're thinking about their interests for their people. We have to understand that. Let me read something. The Indian community didn't want to be a part of Agenda 21, depopulation. Oh, they didn't want to be a part of Agenda 21? Hey, okay, that's fine. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Indians that's probably are Native Americans, whatever you want to call that, probably ain't with a lot of the fuckery shit. But I'm talking about the ones that got the reservations and got the casinos. Like the one nigga that was a Cherokee Indian, he was on Undercover Boss and was making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I'm like, damn, why black people can't get no motherfucking casino? How? I look at it like this. How is it everybody got some shit but us? That's what I look at. And then when we get to asking and questioning about it, motherfuckers be looking at us like we crazy. Go on your job and see how many people that are black, melanated, that are in charge. I say this every podcast. Since you love your job so much, we all have to, we are forced. That's a forced relationship because you got to go to work because you got to pay your bills. So within that forced relationship, go there and see. See how many people look like you that are in real positions of power. I'm not talking about they're in a position of power, but they report to somebody white. I'm talking about they're in a position of power and they don't report to nobody white. Period. You're never going to see that. Because for one, we don't own no boats, no cars, no cakes, no pies, no land, no banks, none of that shit. Can't write bank loans, can't do none of that shit. Facts. I think we got to start worrying about what matters most, and we got to stop believing the hype. Just because a black person talk about, oh, I'm for reparations, that's running for the office, the Oval Office, don't mean that they really gonna do it. We got to start holding motherfuckers accountable. Hold these politicians accountable. Ask them the tough questions. You know what I think we need to even do further? Stop waiting for the Charlemagne the Gods and all these people to ask these politicians. No. Find out who's in office that knows a person in office that when this Kamala Harris or Cory Booker comes to your town, you say, hey, these are the questions that I want you to ask them. Or we gonna rally up and we gonna vote you out. Then you'll see what the fuck is really going on. What's really going on? Because like I said before, do y'all see Koreans in the goddamn voting lines? Y'all see the Chinamen? No, you see the Koreans at the fucking liquor store, and the Chinamen at the liquor store are running a fucking dirty dining ass restaurant, which we don't own a whole lot of those, especially in Las Vegas. But you see them always in their community. If you live in Las Vegas, go to Chinatown. They support their own. Chinatown is big, but Chinatown ain't been here as long as the west side, the historic west side of Las Vegas. But why is it we ain't got shit? We got barbershops, which every other race has infiltrated our style on cutting hair. That's a fact. It was almost taboo to get your hair cut like a black person if you were any other race. The last person I seen that was bold enough to get his hair cut like us was John B. And that was in the 90s. Other than that, I never seen any other race get their hair cut like brothers. And it's no diss. I'm just saying, like, people will culturally appropriate what we have going on. And when I see little Koreatown, little Chinatown, you know, when I see that, when I see the Latino town that they got set up all over the place, and it's like, damn, where's our shit at? But if you go to the backpack giveaway, you see every other race but black people. The black people was in the gym playing, I worked at Doolittle. The black people was in the gym playing basketball, and I saw a whole bunch of Latinos and everybody else trying to get free shit. That's a fact. That's a fact. No diss, but damn, the West Side was historically black. But when we move out, other races move in. That's why we gotta start holding these fucking politicians accountable. Stop relying on the Breakfast Club and everybody else to interview people fairly. I don't know if they're educated. I don't know if they're not. I don't know what it is, but they're not gonna do that. We have to do it ourselves and be like, nah, you start spreading the word. Like, dude, don't be voting for that bitch is a clown. Don't vote for her. Just because she get on there talking about, I listen to Snoop and some Tupac. You know, I went to HBCU and all this other shit. First of all, look, if y'all look at the majority of the HSBCUs or whatever, the historically black colleges, let me tell you something. They're all named after slave masters. They're named after Caucasians. Y'all didn't know that? Spelman? Look, let me tell you something. Just look it up. Look, Google is your friend. This is a fact. Y'all ain't gotta vet me. Vet me out. Go listen. Google Spelman and what Spelman is named after. And then after that, then holler at me. Spelman, I think is John D. Rockefeller's wife. Her maiden name or some shit like that. Oh, And John D. Rockefeller was a part of the 501c3, which means if you're a nonprofit and you're attached to the 501c3, that means you can't talk about political views and you can't sway your church congregation or whatever you're in. Facts. John D. Rockefeller. Facts. Let me read this. Shawnee, do you know in Philly, corner beer stores are owned by Asians but rent the liquor license from blacks? That's crazy. That's crazy. But they rent, exactly. That blows my mind. Let me read this to y'all again. Shawnee Brown from the chat room says, do you know in Philly, corner beer stores, liquor stores, are owned by Asians but rent their liquor license from blacks? That shit, that fucked me up, man. That's true. Cause I'm about to say, I know Philly is like goddamn 80% black people or 50% black people, right? It's gotta be hella black people out there. So if it's a lot of black people out there in Philly, why is it all the corner stores are owned by Asians? And y'all remember I told that story when I went to for all y'all that's in Las Vegas, I went to the swap meet on Washington and Rancho. I was not feeling it. I ain't been back since. I went in there to buy like a Pro Club and, some shorts, and I just didn't like the way that Asian was acting. Oh, hey, I got it for you. I got a Pro Club for you. Oh, I got your side right here. I got a Pro Club for you. And I got a Pro Club. I got a short, Poco short. I got a sock too. I got a sock for you. That shit. I wasn't feeling that shit. And then was laughing and, but I'm watching everybody else walk by, but you strategically kind of grabbed me and let me gravitate towards you. See, because they know what we like. It's almost like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of them. Once they see our algorithm, they go with it and they start pushing the shit towards us. Let me ask y'all a question. Why we don't sell Pro Clubs to each other? I think the Pro Club, the main manufacturing store is in Gardena. Why don't we just go get I was thinking about this. You know what? I should just go to Gardena, go buy a whole bunch of fucking Pro Clubs and stand outside the swap meet and just slang those motherfuckers. But you know what? They'll probably call the police on me and be like, oh, well, you gotta rent a booth. I should just sell those motherfuckers out my house. Because it's like, that's fucked up. And we don't know no better, so we don't do no better. We don't see that. I hate that shit. I grew up in LA, so I'm used to the hurry up and buy. And that shit, they treat a nigga like shit. And then they want to pull out a gun and shoot you and do all kinds of fuckery shit to you. And then when niggas get to go on there, then here come all the Koreans and Asians banding together. That's some facts, man. Just like, dude, we love Chinese food, don't we? We love it. We love Chinese food, don't we? When's the last time, I'm talking about all over the United States, I know in Vegas, but when is the last time, when Seven Seas was open, I never seen a Chinaman in Seven Seas. I never seen a Chinaman in Mario's. I never seen a Chinaman in any of the black restaurants on the west side. Facts. Never seen that. But we love going to Chinatown. And for all y'all that love Chinese food, why don't y'all watch Dirty Dining if y'all live in Las Vegas? Watch Dirty Dining on Contact 13 with Darcy Spears. Watch that. See, I want to do what Darcy Spears is doing, but see, I want to flip it and put my twist on it. Because I used to do that shit before and bust motherfuckers. And I want to go on all these fucking grocery stores and restaurants and bust their ass and put that shit on YouTube and be like, this shit is nasty and dirty. Because if it's a black restaurant, they gonna definitely put our black asses on blast. But I see the same restaurants, whether it's Latino or Chinaman or Korean man, or some of my Italian brothers and sisters or white people or Bulgarians or whatever they are running them fucking pizzerias and shit, they all on Dirty Dining. That's a fact. And then when I see them on Dirty Dining, I'll be like, Then we have this one young lady, well, she's an elderly lady, but I'll call her young lady, and She was on Dirty Dining, but not because her restaurant was nasty, because she got A+ for 10 years in a row on the West Side. A+. So Darcy Spears had to go out there and say, I just want to shake your hand. Well, how do you keep your place so clean? This is what we do. That's a fact. So don't think I forgot about going down there and visiting that restaurant. I keep blanking on her name. I think it's Sweeties or whatever, but I'm telling you, we have to understand that the focus needs to be shifted off of people like R. Kelly. Because, you know, they love to, oh, let's go after R. Kelly. R. Kelly this, R. Kelly that, and all this other bullshit. But then when it comes to going after the Caucasian pedophiles and all those other motherfuckers, crickets. They start talking about Bill Cosby and all this other shit. Let me read something from chat. When is the last time you seen a meat truck pull up and unload at the Chinese store? That's a fact. Where is the meat coming from? Exactly. And they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They do not care. Because they there to feed their families and they pay politicians. They don't go and go vote. I don't. The restaurant, I think it's called Sweeties, or not Sweetie Pies, not that lady, but I forgot her name. It's on the West Side in Las Vegas, and it's a barbecue restaurant, and I'm blanking right now. I keep blanking, but when I saw her on the West Side, it made me feel so good because they went out there, they interviewed her, and they was like, you get an A+ every year. Like, how does that happen? And she was just like, I clean and make sure things is done right. And that's what we do. I think we got to start looking at things that matter and not believing in the hype. You know, we loathe the Gucci's and the Louis Vuittons and all that. And look, I told y'all before, ain't nothing wrong with buying that. If that's what you want to trick your money off on, trick your money off on that. I don't trip off that shit. I don't never trip off that. And the reason why I don't never trip off that is because to each his own. What I trip off of is how we focus on, well, Gucci needs to include us and Gucci this and all that. Man, who give a fuck? Just buy the shit and keep it moving. God damn, we wasting time. Yeah, I just, it's like we wasting time focusing on Gucci and all this other stuff. Man, fuck it. You look, we know how we are. We seek refuge in European clothing lines. And they're very strategic on how they do that. And that's fine. I don't trip off none of that shit. And I never have. But I'll tell you this. We need to start holding these politicians accountable. And it's starting with our own. So when motherfucker get Cory Booker in front of his face, be like, hey man, how come you always keep talking about the LGBTQ community, but when it comes to us, you start talking about everybody else? No disrespect, Senator Booker, but when are we just gonna have a dialogue about what's best for black people and what can you do? What are, as Tariq Nasheed would say, the tangibles? What is something we can hold in our hands, something we can feel? As Martin would say, I'm trying to get to the yams, man. I'm trying to get to the yams. Like, where's the yams at, clown? Like, everybody keep talking about all this other shit, but the shit that matters most to us. Why is it we built this country, but everybody's acting like we didn't do it? I'm going to keep saying that shit every fucking podcast. I don't care who get tired of it. Oh, well, don't watch this shit. This shit ain't for you then. We built the country. Facts. We built it. We built the railroads. We built all that. Man, motherfuckers trying to tell me, oh, the Chinamen built the railroad. No, the Chinamen assisted us on building the railroads. You better read slavery by another name. Shit. That's the problem. We lack knowledge of ourselves. We lack the discernment of saying, like, damn, this is kind of hype. Like I'm gonna tell you that Catherine or whatever her name, Cortez, that one lady that's out there, I heard her talking about the reparations. She started talking about how every Latinos and Spanish people are, no, y'all niggas ain't owed shit. We talking about American descendants of slaves, not no motherfuckers from the islands. Fuck all that. And I don't care who get mad. This shit is not for y'all. For real. And if you get upset, you just get upset. We can talk about it. Leave a comment in the fucking page and we can talk about it. But other than that, I ain't got time. Look, man, I'm for my people right now for what we are owed. I'm tired of going to the corporate plantation. That's all you see is them. I'm tired of going to the liquor stores. You see everybody else but black people. I'm tired of going to businesses. Every other business is not us. It's somebody else. And the thing that frustrates me more probably than anything is that we okay with that shit. We okay with that. And I just be like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? We really okay with that. We really think that Henry Ford made the first automobile. No, Henry Ford was responsible for the mass production of the automobile. I think C.R. Patterson, the black brother, he was the first dude to invent and create the first automobile. A brother. Just like it was a brother who created Jack Daniels. But Jack Daniels took all the credit. His name was, I think, was Ernie Green, or I forgot his name. It's facts. But we don't know that. And I think we don't know that because lack of knowledge, and we don't want to know. I know what niggas want to do. Niggas want to chill, floss, get women. I get that. Do your thing. But I'm talking about to the older generation. If you about 35 and up, it's time for you to pick up at least a book and try to get you a little bit of knowledge so you can spread it to the youngsters that's up under you. Anybody that's up under me, they gonna know what the fuck is going on. And if not, they don't need to be around me. When you watch TV, watch it from a very subjective point of view, but watch it from an objective point of view too, and know, okay, this shit ain't real. You know what I mean? There's, certain things are real. If you want to just learn and free your mind of things, read the book, The Kabbalion. That book is a crazy book, man. But it'll really have you thinking, teaching you like the law of polarity, the law of cause and effect, and all this other stuff. The chat room, a couple of books, okay? Man, let me tell you something, man. I don't know shit. I don't claim to know shit. I'm just telling you the things that I've read. And it is very difficult having a conversation with somebody that don't read anything and don't take the time out to try to seek a little bit of knowledge. It's hard to have those conversations with those type of people because their minds are so programmed. That's why I keep saying don't believe the hype. When you're believing the hype, that means your mind is running that program. It's on auto replay in your mind, so it's on autopilot. So your mind is running that same program like, oh, yeah, they right. They talking about reparations. Yeah, they for us. That shit. Yeah, they for us. But go back and do the research. See, go back and do the research on Kamala Harris. Putting all these women in prison and talking about, oh, well, it's for education. And then not going and doing investigations on certain murders and certain things, but doing it that's been, oh, well, I held out against the banks. That's what, I held out against the bank. I was one of the last ones. Man, get the fuck out of here. That was a political move. I don't want to hear that shit. We got to stop believing the hype, watch, listen, and learn, and understand that everybody is not your friend. Just because they black, they can be a wolf in sheep's clothing. All y'all people that don't know, go get a book by Dr. Claude Anderson. Go get Black Labor, White Wealth. Go get the Black History Reader. Go get Powernomics. God damn, go get one of those books so he can kind of tell you exactly what it is. And stop just taking these politicians' words for it. Hold their feet to the fire. And stop being distracted by these people that are placed in front of us. All these people on CNN, all these people on Fox. These are distractions. No diss to the Angela Rise and all that. I don't care if you are a lawyer. Unless you like Tone Talks, who's fighting for shit that is owed to us and gives you the data. He gives you the data. That's why I fuck with him. That nigga be breaking down the data of, I want the numbers. I want to, and he's like, no, here's the numbers. This is how much money really we worth. I'm tired of these motherfuckers talking about, oh, well, Oprah's a billionaire. Yeah, and Oprah built a school for some people in Africa. But what about the people that's starving right here in the United States? And if you're from Chicago or you live and reside in Chicago, man, you could be doing some shit to clean up the neighborhoods and make sure all this violence got to stop. But you built a school for some niggas in Africa, though. I guess, man. I can't tell a person how to spend their money or whatever, but damn. I guess I'm going to try to clean up my backyard before I try to go clean up somebody else's. We got to stop falling for the okie doke. Stop listening to Obama's clown ass and everybody else. Obama didn't even want to rep his own preacher. He distanced himself. So if he distanced himself from Farrakhan, I'm tired of that shit, man. I'm tired of that. The real people that speak up on our behalf, we want to distance ourselves from. But the motherfuckers that ain't going to stand for shit, we want to be hugged up next to them. Tired of that shit, man. We got to think about us. We got to push us and support us. We do not want to support each other. I'll say that every part is true. Unless you clout chasing or you trying to do some buffoonery coon shit, motherfuckers don't fuck with you. It's a fact. Motherfuckers will wait till you popping, and then when you popping, then they'll come around pretending like they was always there the whole time, and then, oh yeah, man, man, look, we do that to each other. We hype up everybody else but the people that's right in front of us. And then the people that's right in front of us, we don't even, to me, have decent conversations to get it all out on the table. Hey, let's work better together. We're a movement by ourselves, but we a force when we together, man. It's a fact. Take some pride in seeing black ownership. When you see black business, stop trying to get the fucking hookup all the time. Pay, goddamn, man. Niggas don't be wanting to pay. For real. Everybody wants something for free when it's a nigga. But when it's a white person, you be the first person to show you got the money to pay for it. I paid $5,000 for this. But when it's a nigga, you don't want to tell a nigga you paid $5,000 to a nigga. You embarrassed. We gonna get it one day. Hey, this is the No I Don't Know podcast because I don't know shit. I appreciate everybody listening and subscribing. I appreciate it all. I do. I like doing this because I see a lot of shit, man, that needs to be addressed. And again, I'm not a part of the Nation of Islam, but those are brothers that I really respect. And those are brothers that I feel like I needed to hear. Let me tell you, growing up, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up, Jesus said, believe on me. That scripture has said, Jesus said, and all that shit. And that's cool. But when it came time to deal with the system of white supremacy, I couldn't go to Jesus said, believe on me, Jesus said, and all this shit. And the Lord is high above the earth. And hey, that shit didn't work. It didn't work. So I had to turn to something. I started listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm like, this dude is dope. So, hey, I'm going to always support them. Every time I see the Nation of Islam out there, I always buy a last call paper and always give me some incense from them brothers. Support them. You ain't got to agree with everything they stand for, but just support them, man. Because they will reform, and they do have that butterfly effect on our young brothers and sisters. When you deal with the nation, you come out a changed person. That's a fact. But hey, man, it's been fun. It's been real. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. This is the No I Don't Know podcast. I'll be on tomorrow between 6:30 and 7:30. I'm out, man. Peace.